avoid the news at bedtime. This was a huge change for me. When I used to watch a lot of television, I'd watch the 11 o'clock news and then go to bed. And I'm watching all these images of violence and freaking famines and fires everywhere and just really horrible stuff. It is not the healthiest thing to put in your mind before you go to bed.
I would go one step further, a large step further, and say stop watching news, period.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, back in 2008, it might have been 2007, Tim Ferriss published his book, The 4-Hour Workweek.
Yep.
And the whole book, it's still very relevant today, even though some of the technology that he talks about in the book would be majorly out of date. But it doesn't matter. The foundational
like these
principles.
paper things where you
like if he's talking about building an online presence and using a Yahoo store, for example, like nowadays you'd go, okay, Shopify or something. But
right.
Irrelevant. These are just ways of implementing a principle. And the principle was based on this model called DEAL. D was define what you want in your life, right? And E was eliminate crap. A was automate, so that it's another way of eliminating stuff from your life. It's just automate things that you don't have to do.
Right.
And then L was liberate, which is freedom of location. So once you have freedom of time, you can now have the freedom of location. So DEL, it's a nice acronym. And in that book, he talked about one of the things to have more freedom of time is just stop watching the news entirely. How do you get your news? I don't know, go to a restaurant, ask the waitress, well, what's in the news lately? Have a conversation with a human about it. You'll find out what's interesting, what's going on. So I don't go after the news, but if I'm reading on Facebook or something, I will see people talking about it.
Totally, bro. And I agree with you because it's too easy to get drawn into interesting stories. And there's always something interesting. You get 7.5 billion people on Earth. I use Apple News, the subscription, because sometimes it's just nice to see. But I made the mistake, shut up. I made the mistake of reading about the F-35 fighter.
Oh.
And this plane has been, they spent 1.7 trillion working on this plane, and they're already using them. Now realize it's essentially a handmade plane. And the thing that's astounding is it does everything. It literally does everything.
Can it wash my dishes?
Everything.
Okay.
There you go. So now look.
So stop watching the news.
Why not start looking for good news and positive things every single day?
Oh, for sure.
What's good about this? What could be good about this? The Tony Robbins lines.